Can you hear yourself? Because usually you
There
tell
we
me off.
go. There we go. We're here. We're here. We're
Ah!
live. It was never going to be a smooth start, but we are here, ladies and gentlemen, back for the Euro Fantasy game. FPL is gone. That is finished. We're not talking about that anymore. We have got the Euro Fantasy the Euros as well, coming up next week. Starts next Friday. And in today's stream, me and Jake are going to be going through our latest drafts. Mine's probably like the fourth or fifth draft that I'm on right now. Jake's is going to be his first. This is going to be him popping his cherry right in front of you guys, if you like. So we're all going to help him out. We're also going to answer as many of your guys' questions as well. So do keep them coming in. We'll try to answer as many as we possibly can. If you do enjoy the stream or any content that you see on the channel, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to the FPL Tom YouTube channel, as we did hit 4,000 subscribers the other day. So thank you for that one. And now we're on the road to 5k. But I'm going to throw over to Jake. Jake, how we doing, man? How we doing? Euro
Yeah,
Fantasy?
good,
Feeling
good,
good?
good, good. We had flirted with the idea, but it was today that whilst I was in work, you messaged me saying, "Oh, does 7:30 sound to you?" And I was like, "All right, yeah, sound. I'll send you my team." Went on it and realised I hadn't even done a team, so I must have fiddled around with it a few weeks ago and just not saved anything. So, yeah, you are right. This team is less than 6 hours old. But yeah, no, I'm excited. I'm happy that we found something to keep going. I think we've had too many summers, it feels like, and too many blocked out months without sport. So it's nice for it to not really be going that long.
Yeah, 100% agree with that one. 100% agree. We've got lots of people in the chat, quite a few regulars as well. Offcore, George, shout out to you guys for being channel members as well. We will try and answer your questions, like I said, throughout today's stream, so do get them in, and we will kind of filter through all of them. And like I said, do drop the stream a like, as it does push it out to more people, which is it's what we want. It's what we want to see. It's what we want to see. We're going to start off taking a look at fixtures first. Now, I built this graph. It's on my Twitter. If you want to take a screenshot of it now, that's completely fine. But if you go over to my Twitter as well, link to that in the description. You can, you can you can go and take a screenshot over there. Someone put something in the chat and it completely threw me then. Looking at the groups, Jake, which teams do you fancy the most?
I think the standout for me are Portugal. They've got the best run of fixtures. And to be fair, the best way to decipher this was down to your difficulty rating. So I am going off how you've coloured them in. But yeah, Portugal stand out. And then I think it just kind of depends on the teams that turn up, because I think you've always got to take into account with the Euros and even the World Cup, big countries that you bank on will not always be that team. Well, there's always going to be one flop in the top 10 you can kind of rely on, and on the basis of the team that's being called up. And I'm actually a little bit on the sly worried about Belgium, even though on paper their fixtures are really, really nice. I was very surprised to see Courtois not picked. You've got the likes of Jan Vertonghen still going. And I mean, nothing against him, but I just think it's an aging squad, and I think their golden era has kind of just come and gone without anyone really realizing. They never realized their true potential. I think they've kind of missed their chance. Quote that for when they win the Euros. Yeah, I think on paper their fixtures look good, and I have got a Belgian player or two in there because, of course, I don't want to say everything and then be wrong. Because on paper, like I keep saying, their fixtures do look good. Their group looks good. They should win it, but I am a little bit on edge about how what's the word? How easily they'll surpass teams in their group. But yeah, I think for me on paper it's Portugal. I think England look quite decent on paper. Their fixtures are quite nice, and I think I'm excited to see how Turkey do, because I know you've favoured them with their green games, but yeah, I have no idea how good Turkey are. I must be honest, and so I'm excited to see how they do.
Yeah, they've definitely got a few recognisable names in their side as well. Quite a few people in the chat as well, George and Lucas, agreeing with your Belgium kind of consensus that they don't think Belgium could top the group. So seems like you're not alone in kind of maybe that mad theory you thought you were having there.
I mean, I say this, I'm looking basically on colour, and I can't actually see because I'm watching on my phone, because we know how bad my laptop is. But could you tell me who the other three teams are in their group?
It's Slovenia or Slovakia. I really
One of
awkwardly put
Slovs.
SLO. And then Romania and Ukraine.
Oh, okay. Ukraine, I think I saw they had a couple greens, so you never know them. But yeah, on paper they should be beating all of them.
Mhm.
But I guess we're going by the squads that they've had in previous years, and even then, they've just kind of been a little bit underwhelming, haven't they?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Is there any teams you're looking at that maybe people should be looking to avoid with their first drafts, do you think?
I think I've found it quite difficult. Sorry, I'm not looking at the screen, so I'm watching the stream here on my phone, but just trying to remind myself. But I think weirdly enough, I've found it quite hard to bring Spanish, Italian, and even to some extent like Dutch and German players. I think Germany, I guess, maybe for the first game. I think the fact that they're hosting the tournament helps them a bit, but of course, the last few tournaments have not gone very well for them. But yeah, I think the likes of Italy and Spain, I can't tell which side will turn up, and the fixtures don't look as favourable for them, and they kind of cancel each other out playing the likes of Croatia. Um, I think also another one like Holland. I think a few of those sides they just have big games to play, which is one way you kind of have to ease your way into those players. I'm not saying don't play any of them, but I think like throwing like I don't know how many players are you allowed. Is it four from either
Three.
nation?
Three at the moment in the group stage.
Yeah, so having three Spanish, three Italian, three Dutch may be a little bit foolish considering you don't know how they're going to fare against sides that are on paper around the same ability level as each other. And there are definitely teams like we've mentioned, like Portugal, maybe even like Turkey, maybe like Belgium, even where you'd fancy them to beat the likes of Georgia or, I mean, yeah, there you go. You get what I mean? Like I
Yeah,
feel
yeah.
like I'm waffling a little bit, so I'll let you take the back.
No, no,
Uh,
it's fine. It's fine. I think with a lot of people's teams as well, especially their first drafts, it is going to be dependent on what chip strategy they're on. Do you know what chips are in the game? I'm guessing probably not, since you opened it about
Tom, I
6 hours
literally had
ago.
to read the instructions about 3 4 hours ago. The only things I know, if this is a dummies guide, the
Hmm.
only thing I can teach people is that you don't have to. It is that you put you make your 11 the earliest team that is playing, so you can bring players in later on.
Yeah.
That's all I know.
All right. Let's. You know what? I'll do some idiot guiding just for you and anyone else in the chat. So, like you said, you want to put your kind of first players that play the earliest in the starting 11, even if they're not the best players,
Yeah,
because you
so if you
can.
have a German or even a God forbid a Scottish player in, you're
Yeah.
going to play them, aren't you?
Yeah, 100%. So you can easily just rotate them, manual substitutions after each kind of game finishes. So that's the option there. Obviously, once you do that, though, you can't bring somebody back in. So it doesn't work like that. You also get to change captain every day as well. So if you've got to, realistically, you're probably going to captain a Germany player in the first day. Then you're moving on to the next teams, your Englands, your Frances, and then right at the end, somebody like Portugal, if it has to go to that point as well. So you've got that. Then in terms of chips, so obviously for match day 1, you've got unlimited transfers. That also applies in match day 4, just after the group stage as well. So you have that as well, unlimited transfers after the group stage. So basically, in essence, you have a wild card there. Then in terms of actual chips, you just have the two. You have a wild card, which works exactly the same as FPL, so very easy, very simple. Then you have a limitless chip. Now, the way that the limitless chip works is it's basically a free hit, exactly the same in FPL, but with unlimited budget. So you can bring in all the big boys you want. You do not have to constrain to that 100 million or after the group stage 105 million price tag. You can do whatever you want with that.
When would you say, off the top of your head, that limitless chip would work best? Would it be in the group stage, or would you say maybe when teams have been narrowed down a bit?
Well, I think there's a kind of a consensus that I've been able to draw up amongst, well, myself kind of looking at it, and then amongst other kind of content creators. There's two strategies that people are going down. So it's wildcard in game week 2, and then limitless in match day 3. Or the other one is limitless in match day 3 and wildcard in match day 5. They're the two that kind of more of the top echelon managers who do well in these games are kind of going for that strategy.
Do you each transfer window where you don't have the wild card, as in like if you're not using your chip and after game week 3, you're not getting that unlimited. Is it just one transfer for free?
I think it's 2, I believe. I think it's 2
Right.
free transfers.
Well, I'm glad I'm learning anyway. You
Yeah,
can
yeah.
tell I'm really up for this, but believe me, I really have been, and this will get me right in the spirits for it, especially if I get some abuse from my team.
Oh yeah,
Just
you're
a shame.
gonna
Just
get
a shame I can't squeeze in a Ben Brereton Diaz in there.
yeah. But to kind of answer your point as well, the first question you asked about when's the best time to play the Limitless, looking at it, it's quite a controversial one, and I've had some slander for this, but match day 3, all the top teams have pretty nice fixtures. So Spain play Albania, Germany play Switzerland, England play, is it Slovenia in our group or Slovakia?
It's one of the two, isn't it? Yeah.
France have Poland, Belgium have Ukraine, and Portugal have Georgia.
Yeah, that does look good. And then you can just full send on all of them and just rotate them as it goes by day.
Yeah, 100%, 100%.
No, that's a good shout. And I think though it's also, as much as that's just the first time look at it and just like a hypothetical look. Of course, by game week 3, Portugal might have lost the first 2 games and England might be bottom of the group. So like it just got to play it by ear. But yeah, from the looks of it on paper, that looks like a good format to go by.
Yeah, I think some people have obviously questioned it with the fact that some teams already might be through. But I think even if that was the case, then there's going to be some rotation. So you're still going to have to play it because even these top teams that most of us are probably going to have 1 or 2 players from, we need to rotate, if you know what I mean. So I think...
Yeah, because when you mentioned it, I thought for me, the first place I thought was quarterfinals, but I was like, there may not actually be enough big hitters to actually need that kind of budget.
Yeah, 100. Well, you never know what could happen in these tournaments. You know what I mean? Some of the big teams could definitely go out in the round of 16 or even in the group stage as well.
Yeah.
Just to answer your question there, Turkey in a Bush. So there is no deadline in Fantasy Euro. There is a deadline to get your team locked in. It's the first game of like said match day. So game week 1 is on the Friday. It basically goes up all the way till the game kicks off, the deadline.
Oh, so you even get the transfer, the team news?
Yeah, so you even get the team news. So there's no leaks or anything like that. So you're going to get the team news and find out what's happening, which is a little bit better. I do prefer it that way. I think it levels the playing field, to be honest.
Gives you that little head start before like we're to the no man's land of not knowing who's going to play afterwards.
100%, 100%. Right, let's answer some of your guys' questions before we move on to Jake's team. We've had Rodri or Xavi Simons. Who do you prefer, Jake?
Well, as we'll soon find out, I have one of them. I'm going to say Xavi Simons. Okay. I mean, I do get why you'd go for Rodri because he's on the penalties, as I've seen of late. And, of course, he's an ever-present. Spain will dominate the ball, so assists will definitely be an opportunity for him. I feel like, is there some kind of extra point for like ball winning back or something?
Yeah, I think it's per 3 ball recoveries you get an extra point, and scoring outside of the box you get an extra point as well. And we
scoring outside the box.
Yeah, and we all know Rodri likes to score outside the box.
Yeah, no, I feel like it's one of those really where it's kind of a toss up because it just depends on who performs better. Because you'd like to think that Xavi Simons is going to be that kind of player that's going to be in the box, creating chances, taking the chances for Holland, whereas Rodri is sitting back a little bit more. No, I feel like it kind of works both ways. I think the only way I'm now that I've really thought about it with the ball recovery stats and stuff, I think the only thing that would shove it towards Xavi Simons in my head is simply the fact that they've got a slightly easier group. But I mean, after game week 1, if Rodri's absolutely booming, then I mean, I've made a massive mistake and he'll be in.
Yeah, 100%.
Are you leaning towards Rodri?
Slightly, yeah.
Yeah. No, fair enough. I understand. I like what they've done there. It's definitely something that even fantasy should consider in the future.
Exactly. It makes people like Rodri actually worth owning because half the midfielders in fantasy are just useless. So it's definitely a good thing to have.
Haven't they been called up by France?
No, he hasn't.
Probably Ali be brilliant.
Otherwise, cheat code. Thoughts on Gundogan's attacking potential?
I don't really know too much about Germany. Germany seems to have quite a lot of young midfielders coming up, but I also wouldn't be surprised if Gundogan started with Hummels missing out. Like, I don't know, will Neuer play? Or is he not being called up?
Yeah, Neuer will play.
Okay,
Looking
I
at
was just going to say, because maybe Gundogan would take the captain's armband unless Neuer plays. But yeah, I don't know, to be honest. I think I'd be more inclined to go for Rodri than Gundogan.
Well, interestingly, you say that. I have Gundogan in my team, so I think I'm probably the mouthpiece for him. He is on penalties for Germany, so that's a big plus. I think looking at a lot of the predicted lineups, he's expected to play in the 10 role, so I think he could be a decent pickup at 7 million.
So does that mean the likes of Wirtz and Musiala miss out, or what are
Vert,
they?
a lot of the predicted lineups have Wirtz on the left, and Havertz up top. Was
And
the last.
Musiala not playing, or what?
Let me go and quickly get it up. Where's the Germany one?
Because they do have like, a lot of decent attackers that are just young and just start to break into it.
Musiala on the right.
So that means the likes of Sane, who I've got in my team, might be in a little bit of trouble.
Potentially. We never know how it could line up. I'll send you this doc after the thing so you can have a look. It's got like predicted lineups and like all data from the qualifiers and stuff like that. So it's really good.
Nice.
Cool. Team ratings, if you want to send me them, I'll drop me a message on Twitter. Let's have a look what other questions we've got. Bellingham or Bruno Fernandes?
Bruno.
Yeah, I'm more in the Bruno's
the talisman for Portugal. I think as much as Bellingham's brilliant for England, I think there are a few that can take it. Like this could be Foden's Euros. This could be, well, I mean, Kane's always going to be that ever present. Whereas at Portugal, with their fixtures looking really nice, I think Bruno's going to lead them through that if they're going to get through that.
Yeah, 100%. Just trying to read through lots of questions flying in the chat today, guys. So if we do miss any, I do apologize. We've got lots of people in here. So if you are new to the channel, like I said, be sure to subscribe, like, and all that good stuffs. Who are the Germany defenders everybody seems to have? That would probably be Jonathan Tah and Mittelstadt, the left back from what's the team? Stuttgart.
Bloody hell, I have not played this game well. I've just jumped. It's like I've spawned in here. I'm like, what? Who are they?
Hey lad, it's cool. It's cool, man. We'll get you there. We'll get you there. I actually think your draft's not too bad. So I think there's like one or two changes, and I reckon we're good. You know what? Let's just dive into it. Like I said, keep the questions coming in. We'll try and answer as many as we can. We'll probably do a big section at the end for Q&A, so do keep them coming in, as I will try to answer as many as I can. But we're going to start off with Jake's first ever draft on Euro Fantasy. Jake, talk me through it, man. Talk me through the team.
Okay, so of course the 11 you've got showing are simply playing ahead of the Portuguese lot, the Belgian goalkeeper, and the Turkish striker because they're playing earlier. So that just goes without showing. So please don't come at me for benching benching Mendes and Cancelo. I have got Bruno in, but of course, there are only a few players that were playing beforehand. Going from the front, I think from the front it's a lot more obvious why I've picked those players. Lukaku is the only reason I think Belgium will make it through, because I know De Bruyne is a world-class player, but you will need someone to finish a lot of his chances off. And I think Lukaku has the ability to. He's definitely shown at international level he can be that focal point for Belgium. And like we've said, Belgium have got some good fixtures, so hopefully he can help Belgium get through them. Mbappe goes without saying. I've then gone for Bruno. Like I said before, I think he's another one that's just going to be the focal point of his nation's side getting through, especially a rather straightforward run on paper. To avoid any blips, you need those the big men to perform, and I think he is that main man for Portugal. I've gone for Xavi Simons. I don't really know what to expect for Netherlands. I mean, it's nice to see them back in there. Got a little bit of Dutch heritage on my mum's side, so they're probably my second team that I'll keep an eye on. I think it'd just be nice to see them do quite well, at least get through to the quarterfinals, hopefully. But if they're going to do anything, the likes of Simmons are going to need to perform. And their group isn't awful, but we'll just have to play that by ear. And then I've got Maguire and Pickford in the defence. I feel like that goes without saying. It might be a bit of a laughable one, but Maguire doesn't seem to let England down defensively, and I do feel like he's a shoe-in to start next to Stones. I don't think Southgate's going to change that drastically. He's already going to be a bit wobbly without Phillips and Henderson in midfield, so I think he needs his Harry Maguire and Stones just to level him up a bit. And also, Pickford and Maguire in that defence. England have been pretty resolute in previous games of the past, even in the European competitions, the Euros last time. They were fine, and Maguire popped up with quite a few goals in the national finals, as I recall. And then, yeah, of course, here we go. We're going to now get onto the ones that are probably a little bit more controversial.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I don't know what to expect, and I just fancy going for a team that, like, I feel like there is going to be a dark horse somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what to expect from Turkey, but I thought, you know what, I'll just go for one of their strikers. I'm not sure about, I think the other striker they had, what's his name? The one that used to play for Leicester on loan, Under. Don't know who's going to start out of those two, the one that I've got an Under. But, like, I think Turkey could do all right, but I have absolutely no idea if I'm right about that. And then Ukraine, I think they've got a fairly decent side, and their group is one of those, really, where, like we've mentioned before, Belgium actually may struggle to win the group, and so that means it is there for the taking. Maybe someone could just rise out of that group, because I feel like it's much of a muchness in and amongst those nations. So that's why I've just gone, you know what, screw it, let's go for the two Ukrainians. And of course, I can take them out for the Portuguese lads if it doesn't go very well.
Okay, all right. Do you want my honest feedback?
Yeah, go for it.
All
no,
right,
I want you to lie through your teeth.
Oh,
Tell
mate, what a great draft this is. Wow. Okay, there's a few players in here that I think stink.
Okay.
Spinazzola won't play. They've got
To be fair, I don't know about that either. I think I'm going off Euro 2020.
Yeah, he was a baller back then, but they got Di Lorenzo. He'll be the right back. He'll start.
Well, in that case, that's a straight swap, I think.
Yeah, I'm just loading up the Portugal team. I just want to see if Mendes has been playing. He has, so that's a decent pickup. I don't mind that one. Goalkeeper, the second one, Castells, is it? Is that I pronounce it correctly?
That's another one which I need to look into, to be fair, because I know Courtois is not going, so I was just going to put whatever Belgium keeper's playing.
Yeah, it's a toss-up between him and, Sells from Forest.
Yeah, but once again, I think it's going to be Pickford at the end of the day. So I feel like it'd be nice to have the Belgium second keeper because he's cheap and he's going to play, whoever it is. But of course, it is just that lottery, isn't it?
Yeah. That Turkish forward, I am not sure. I'm just looking into him as well.
He was the most expensive one, Tom. That's the only reason I put him. Yeah. Okay. I think he scored. He scored against United. I swear, whatever Turkish team he plays for, I swear he scored in both fixtures in the Champions League. Who was it they played?
I don't know, mate.
And they came back from like 2-0 down or something. It was either Galatasaray or Fenerbahce or someone, but I think it was Galatasaray.
You know what, lad? Looking at this, I didn't know who he was before this. Plays on the left, it looks like, in a 5 midfield. Yeah. Scored 2 goals in qualifying. So maybe. How much was he though?
7.
Okay. A little bit steep.
Well, I've got 1.5 mil as well in the bank.
Okay.
So there's a player in there, isn't there?
Yeah, I think Sane's an interesting one. Obviously, I spoke about him.
Yeah, you've kind of talked me out of them.
Yeah, I think there probably is a better Germany midfielder to go for in the terms of that one. Mudryk, again, I'm not a big fan. I think if I was to go for a Ukrainian player, I'd go for the forward from Girona. Dubrovik. Yeah, I got absolutely slandered for saying his name. He's
massive. He's that massive lad, isn't he?
24 goals, won the Golden Boot in La Liga. He would be a Ukrainian player, and I prefer him over the Turkish forward if I was to go down that route.
Okay. No, I like it.
And then one player I think you're definitely missing for me is Kane. I think our group's quite nice, and I think we'll do quite well. Think like some of the attacking talent we've definitely got. I think Kane could cook in this tournament.
Well, okay. Well, I could always put Kane in for Artikoglu and just sacrifice. Like, if I sacrifice Sane for maybe a Turkish midfielder,
probably Çalhanoğlu.
Yeah, that might save me a mil or a mil and a half, and I could definitely work with it. And the worst case scenario, if you really are that desperate for Kane, I think it would be worth. If you would you say he's worth sacrificing Lukaku for?
Ooh, ooh. I mean, he's more likely in terms of the bookies odds to become Golden Boot winner.
Mm.
I think it goes Mbappe then Kane for
We
Golden
will
Boot.
dominate those games, so you are right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Do you think Minu will start? Because I've got a little inkling he might.
I think he might start one of the games, but I don't think he's going to start all of them.
What do you reckon it'll be? Bellingham.
Bellingham, Rice, and Mainu. Maybe even though he could go Conor Gallagher as well.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So I just think again he's probably not one worth risking.
Okay. No, fair enough. I think I've got from what I'm hearing, I've got the core. I think there are definitely improvements to be made, but I think the bottom line is, I think as long as I've got the core, change a few little bits.
Yeah.
I don't think you're adamantly saying get rid of the Ukrainians either, because I feel like you've got to have a little bit of differential in you, don't you?
Oh, I've got a Ukrainian in my team, as we'll come on to see.
But it's how do you say his name?
Oh, God. Dovbik, I think.
Also, just whilst you were talking, I was right. Galatasaray against United in the Champions League. That striker for Turkey scored in both games.
I'm a little bit unsure who you're saying. Could you please try and pronounce his name for me?
Kareem.
Yeah. The last
Click on his name.
The last name as well, because there's a couple Kareems kicking about in that Turkish squad.
Oktoglu. There you go.
I rate the shout as well. The shout works.
Oktoglu. I reckon that's pretty close.
Yeah.
If there's any Turks watching, apologies.
Yeah. I don't think it's a bad first
Is he
draft.
Turkish or is he Greece?
He's Greek.
Probably.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice.
I don't think it's bad.
Well, it'll be interesting. I'm sure we'll do a stream before the deadline, and it'll be interesting to see what I've finalised with.
Yeah. I'm sure we'll do a stream next week, and we'll get it ship shape. It'll look a lot better.
How many weeks do we have now?
But is it just next Friday, isn't it?
Oh, really? Wow. What a week? What 2 weeks on Friday?
No. Not this Friday. The following Friday, isn't it? 12th.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that is 2 weeks on Friday, lad. 14th.
Yeah.
We between us, we knew we were right.
We're just idiots. We're just idiots.
We're on the same wavelength. We just spoke completely different languages.
Yeah. We got there in the end, though. That's the main thing. That is the main thing.
Exactly.
Right, let's move on to how my latest draft is looking. There we go. It's flipped in. It's flipped straight in. So this is what I'm going for. Now, I think it's worth mentioning what strategy I am on. I'm currently on Wildcard in Matchday 2 and Limitless in Matchday 3. That is the plan. So this team is primarily just for Matchday 1. That's the plan for it. Starting off with goalkeepers, we have Lunin from Ukraine. Like I said, I'm pretty strong on the old Ukraine front. Then we've got Dibbuz. I think he's the Hungary goalkeeper. He might be a 4 million playing goalkeeper. That's the only reason I've got him at the moment. If we find out Sells could be the Belgian one, I could make that switch. I'm also tempted by Samba from France. Again, I need to see which goalkeeper they go with. Is it going to be Areola or is it going to be Simba? Again, whichever way that one goes, we'll take a look at that. Backline, we've got Mittelstadt from Germany. He's predicted to start at left back. Only 4 million for him, so nice little cheap differential there. Couldn't get my words out. Then I've gone for the double Italy fullback defence. They're playing Albania. So we've got Di Lorenzo, the right back, and DeMarco, the left back as well. Both had pretty good seasons in terms of attacking returns as well. Then finishing up the defence on the pitch, we've got Van Dijk. Now you might be thinking, why the hell have you got Van Dijk? Well, Ronald Koeman confirmed that he's going to be the penalty taker for Holland this tournament.
Really?
Yeah. So
brilliant.
That seems like a little bit of a cheat code, having a defender that's got, pretty good defenders around him, and I expect Holland to maybe keep 1 or 2 clean sheets throughout the group stage. Plus, he's on penalties.
Do you get like ball repossession points for defenders? For anyone?
It's just for anyone.
Oh, okay.
So
Because he'll get a few tackles in.
Yeah. So that one seems a bit of a cheat code. And then finally finishing up, our final defender is going to be Wout Faes from Leicester. He's in at 4 million. It looks like he might start in the back three, so 4 million, can't really go too wrong with that one. Moving into the midfield, I've been umming and ahhing which England midfielders I have. I've had Bellingham at points, I've had Saka, I've had Foden, and now I'm back to Saka. I really can't predict who's going to start in that midfield kind of lineup and who's going to do the best in terms of England. I think anytime Foden goes out on the left, he just doesn't look as good. Whether that's
No,
for
I
City
agree,
or
but I
England.
do feel like Southgate's going to have Saka on the right, isn't he?
Yeah, and that's Saka's just natural position, so I feel he'll...
And in all fairness to Saka, he does perform for England.
Uh-huh.
So I can't really fault it. It's just a shame, really, because Foden is 10 times the player Saka is, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah, 100. I'd rather have Phil Foden,
But
especially
you
off the back
can't. You
of the
just
season.
can't stop Saka. You can't just fuck him off.
No.
Well, no, I guess maybe that's what we're lacking. Maybe that's what Southgate's Achilles heel is. He sees Saka playing so well there, so he can't drop him. And really, sometimes you just got to be like, sorry, mate, you're class, but there's someone even better.
Yeah. Other midfielders, we've got...
Sorry, mate, would you put Saka left wing, or would that be a waste as well?
I think that'd be a waste.
What would you do? Have like Grealish?
Nah. I guess... I don't know who you'd have, to be honest. It's just a difficult one, isn't it?
Like, even Palmer would suit the right more, wouldn't he? If he had to be on either side. Yeah, it's an interesting one. It's quite a weak left-hand side in comparison to the right. Sorry, mate. You do go on about your...
It's all right, man. Then we've got Gundogan. Obviously, he's got the armband as he's playing the first game up against Scotland. Like I was saying earlier, he is on penalties. So I think that one could be a decent little pickup. Bruno Fernandes, again, has the potential to be on penalties because I don't think Ronaldo is going to play every single minute at this tournament. So I do think, Bruno could maybe get lucky and get some penalties, but he's a pretty good asset as well in terms of minutes, in terms of his overall play as well. On the bench, we've got Çalhanoğlu from Turkey. He's had a really good season for Inter. 13 goals, 5 assists for him. On penalties for the Turkey team. And we've all seen like a clip of him on Twitter absolutely slapping a free kick in. So if that happens again, I'd be very happy if that were to happen. And then
is that one against Dortmund?
Yeah, it's filthy.
It's just like, right then.
And then the final one, I'm not even going to bother pronouncing his name. He's from Georgia. He's 4.5 million. And he plays for Watford. He's played quite a lot, and he's predicted to play on the right hand side of midfield. So for 4.5 million, I was like, he'll do. And then up front, I think I've got the pretty much template front line of Lukaku, Kane and Mbappe. I think there are some other good forwards out there. Jake pointed out the Turkish forward, Dovbik as well, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. But for me, all three of those forwards have the capability to go and win the Golden Boot. And I think they're the best three options in terms of forwards.
Do you think Ronaldo being in the squad makes like the likes of Goncalo Ramos a bit of a doubt?
I'd say so, yeah.
He was good in the. I swear he was good in the last competition. Didn't he score a hat trick or something? Could be wrong, but it's. I guess you just got to wait and see for that. Whereas at least those three are a shoe in to play.
Yeah, 100%.
Who'd you captain?
Well, Gundogan first. Then I think it goes Italy boys. Then it goes Kane, and then it's between Lukaku and Mbappe as they play on the same day.
What would you do if you had to commit to a captain from day one?
Oh, I think I'd go Lukaku,
Not Van Dijk.
No. This is the thing, though. Van Dijk has just got that little bit of like,
He's got that extra little, he's got like a handicap, hasn't he?
If he gets a penalty and a clean sheet, like it's just a bit filthy, isn't it? Like it's just a bit too filthy, that.
And I think they do have a couple of games which they could keep a clean sheet in.
Definitely so.
Have they got France in their group?
They have France in the second game.
That'll be an issue, won't it? But I guess if your chip plan is to get rid, then fair enough.
Yeah, I'd be wildcard in that week anyway, so it shouldn't be an issue.
Nice. No, I like it. Don't really have any nitpicks to go with. I think I'd be a little bit hypocritical to do that, considering I've only thrown a team together today. But from the looks of it, I understand why you've gone for it. I think the only place that from our chat and from like any little research I've been able to do, is that I'm surprised you've got no Portuguese like wing backs in there. You've just got Bruno, and you've not really gone for gold of them. You're putting your money with the Italians.
Yeah, I did have João Cancelo. I think he is a really good pick. But I think I just looked at the two Italian players, what they've done this season, and I thought, if I'm wildcarding anyway in two, I could go and pick Cancelo up in that game week.
Does Udogie not give the left back a little bit of a challenge?
I wouldn't say so.
No,
I don't even think Udogie's been picked, has he?
Oh, is he not? I don't know. I
genuinely don't think he's fit and available.
Yeah, fair enough.
But yeah, DeMarco's been insane this season, so I can't see him being dropped.
Yeah, no, fair enough. That's a good team. I like it. Well, I'll get back to the drawing board and we'll see what happens in a week's time.
We'll reconvene in a week's time and make sure you're back on track.
Exactly.
Is there anyone from my team that you've kind of seen and maybe been a little bit inspired by?
I think just the way that the game's being played, I think Van Dijk is one of those where I do have to really heavily consider that. It definitely would have to be one of those 1 week wonders, because if they're playing France next week or even the week after, that might be something where I'd have to take him out. But yeah, if he's on penalties, you've got that extra ball recovery points. Like it does seem like one of those where if he gets a clean sheet, it doesn't really matter what the rest of your defense does because he's carrying you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think he's the one that stands out. I get why you've got the front three. I get why you've got Saka. We've both got Bruno. Gundogan, I just didn't know if he was going to start or not, but you seem quite confident, so I can understand that. The Italians, I understand, but I mean, we've had that discussion. I've gone Portugal, you've gone Italy. I do still plan to have an Italian fullback. I just think I'll take the risk on one.
Yeah.
But then I guess the same could be said to me. I've got both Portuguese fullbacks, so maybe I could branch out and not rely on both of them.
Mm-hmm.
But that's maybe where I'd swap Spinazzola for one of the fullbacks for Italy and maybe take out the likes of Mendes and bring in Van Dijk. But yeah, overall, your team's smashing. I think that Van Dijk one is a bit juicy though.
It's the penalty appeal, isn't it? It just is
the
penalty appeal.
And like, who's to say if he hasn't slotted a pen away, if he's getting a free kick late on, there's a goal outside the box.
It's when he's got two penalties as well. It's just like, oh, there's a brace. There's a brace of penalties, a clean sheet.
Oh.
But watch it during the week.
We're even forgetting the fact that he has got that aerial presence from set pieces.
Exactly. A lot of set piece goals are scored at kind of European tournaments as well, aren't they?
Yeah, I'm just surprised you've not got Wout Weghorst then.
Oh, I was tempted with big Wout, but you know,
not today.
Yeah, not today. Maybe some other day. Oops, just hit my mic.
I can't. Unfortunately, lad, I can't see shit.
Yeah. All right. Let's answer some of your guys' questions before we wrap up today. So get as many in as you possibly want. If you want team ratings, send me those on Twitter at FPLTom_. But any questions you do have, get them in, and me and Jake are going to try and answer as many as we possibly can before we finish up today. If I select Bellingham, Foden and Kane and they get knocked out in the round of 16, what will happen to these players and how will I get replacements? So basically, you get transfers, pretty much. But if they get knocked out before the group stage, then in the round of 16, we get unlimited transfers, basically like a free wild card. After that, if they do get knocked out, though, they're just going to sit in your team, basically like an injured player or a suspended player in regular fantasy. So you will have to then go and remove them. So there you go on that one. Let's have a look what other ones we've got. People confirming Udogie's had surgery and isn't picked.
No.
Pickford or Costa from Portugal? Which one tickles your pickle more there, Jake?
I have to say Pickford. I think we're a lot better defensively. I might be mistaken, but I swear there have been recent mistakes from Costa. What happened? What did he do? I swear he did something for his club and just absolutely fucked it. I can't remember, but yeah, even so, even if they're both on form, I would go for Pickford because Pickford is pretty solid for England.
Yep. Dog Dogs Eat Tacos, sorry, has said, do you think Frimpong is a good option? Obviously, a standout season at Leverkusen. The only problem I think that he might have is a man called Denzel Dumfries.
I mean, if you're Holland, you'd try and play both of them on either side, wouldn't you?
I mean, yeah, they haven't taken Matson, so
That's a surprise.
yeah, he didn't get called up today. They're only taking one out-and-out left wing back.
Yeah, so you'd like to think that both of those two play, to be honest.
Just on that as well, I think Frimpong has only played 2 international games.
Mhm.
So
I mean, if he's not played, it's a massive, massive fuck up from Coleman.
Denzel Dumfries, mad. Do you not remember
Exactly,
him?
that's what I mean. But if we've got only one other full left wing back, I'm sure one of them can go onto the left side.
But is that what Koeman's going to do? Gonna have to wait and see.
Have to wait and see. I mean, it depends what their formation is because they could always have both of them on the right hand side. Frimpong was playing like Eight Nori at Fulham at Wolves at one point last season. He can play really, really high up, and then you just have Dumfries on the overlap.
Yeah. Thoughts on Modric as an option? Many teams have a good fixture in game week 2, but Croatia have Albania.
I'd probably say no. I don't. I just don't know. I really don't know. I don't have that. If I had any knowledge in fantasy football, it's about 5% of that in international football. So I'm just going to have to wait and see. And I also feel like you've got to be careful as well. Like I say, a team that you may have that false knowledge of because they've done really well in the last international tournament, but that was coming up to 2 years ago now. Well, a year and a half, let's say. So a lot can change. He's yet another year or so older. So yeah, it'll be interesting. Croatia are really they always seem to surpass expectations, but yeah, I don't think I'm too confident on Modric having much of an impact.
Okay, all right, okay, that's fine. If I don't spend a transfer on one match day, do I have 4 on the next match day? I think they follow on. Let me just get the rules up. I think it works like fantasy where they'll follow on for one match day. But let me just quickly grab the rules.
That being said, you've got 7 game weeks. I think you'd be a little bit silly to just hold off because you're only going to really need to hold off for 1 game week.
True.
So what's the point? Because you got unlimited game week 1, you hold off game week 2, you've got 4 game week 3, but then after that you're getting that unlimited wild card.
Yeah.
So it's not really worth it. But I mean, like, I guess it just depends how desperately bad your team is.
I clicked read the rules and it just didn't open the rules up. All right, I'll take a look at that after because it's not working. It just loads up the points, not the everything else, which is fun and interesting. Best defender for 5 million already have Dallo and DeMarco. Any names spring to the top of your mind for 5 million, Jake?
I actually don't know how much people are, to be honest.
Oh, so you want me to have a look, do you?
How much are these? I mean, I've got Maguire. He will play.
He will.
And like I said, he's a big presence at set pieces. I could see him getting a goal or 2, and a couple of clean sheets, especially in the group stage.
I think Grimaldo might be a decent shout from Spain.
Yeah, agreed with that.
Jules Koundé, Timothy Castagna, Akanji.
Mykolenko.
I think Jonathan Tah at 4.5 million is a decent shout as well.
Do you think he plays?
Yeah, I think he plays. I think he plays next to Rudiger.
What have they got? A back 4 on the predicted lineups?
Yeah, back 4, yeah. Just looking through anyone else here that I can see, to be honest. I think they're probably some of the top ones I'd go for. Yeah, they're probably the ones. Right, what other questions have we got? Keep them flying in, guys. We've got plenty to go through here. I don't know who that player is, and I'm not even going to pronounce his name correctly, so I'm not going to answer that question. The one below Castagna, it says, is
Ganache.
Is that his name?
Yeah, that's the Hungary goalkeeper, Peter Galaskin.
Ah, okay.
He's quite cool, but I don't actually know any facts about Hungary, to be honest.
Well, I've looked. That's why I've got the backup Hungary goal. Well, not even the backup goalkeeper, Hungary goalkeeper in the 4 million goalkeeper in. Just because he's played the last few friendlies and qualifying games. It's the only reason I've got him in. So I'm not 100% sure. He could play very easily.
Yeah.
Van Dijk plus a 4.5 million defender, or Theo Hernandez and DeMarco. Ooh.
I would say Van Dijk. Can I just say you've skipped about 4 comments there, all saying Frimpong's going to play in a different position?
Oh, they're not questions, are they? They're just
No, I
statements.
just found it funny that someone said, well, he can play on the left, can play can play right wing back, can play in goal.
There we go.
Well, I found that funny anyway. Yeah, I'd say Van Dijk. And I mean, if you're saying Jonathan Tarr's going to play and he's 4.5, there you go.
Yeah, decent options. I think both are really good, to be honest. Both ways you look at it, both could easily work. Off-course asked, why have you got branches growing from under your cap?
Oh, lad. At least I've got something. At least I've got something growing. I've had a lot more strays without the cap on than with it on. I'll take that.
Godfather has said, is Valavojevic, again, probably butchering that one, a good pick?
What did you say his name was?
Valavojevic, is that his name?
Valavojevic. Lad, where are all those syllables on this?
I am awful at pronunciations.
Vlahovic.
Vlahovic. There we go. Vlahovic.
Do you know who he is?
Yeah. He plays for Juventus.
Okay.
I knew who he was. I was just like, I don't know how to say his name.
Well, I think Valavojevic has a better ring to it, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I don't know if he's a good pick because I don't know who Serbia are playing. I don't think so. I think the 3 you've got in your team, and maybe a Turkish or the Ukrainian striker, players that are playing arguably easier fixtures. Pardon me. Whereas I definitely didn't see Serbia's fixtures stand out on the fixture list.
So I'm absolutely rinsed in the chat for that
one. Valavojevic. I actually quite like the name of it. I feel like that should be a footballer's name.
Yeah. It probably is somewhere.
Yeah. Oh, that's brilliant.
Yeah. Sabitslai or Saka?
That's if you just pronounce Sabitslai pretty well,
and then he plays in the Prem. If I hear it, I know how to pronounce it. If I don't hear it, don't have a clue. Sabitslai or Saka? If Saka, then how close is it between them? Because I need the money for Van Dijk.
I don't know. I'm going to let you answer that one, Tom.
Throw me all the hard questions, eh?
It's the Euros, isn't it? Let's be serious. It depends how serious you're taking it. And I think the 7 game weeks, have a bit of fun. If you're having a bit of a toss-up and you're needing to ask us, I reckon, fuck it. Just go with Szoboszlai and go with Van Dijk. Have a bit of fun with your life.
Yeah, I think that one could be more beneficial, to be honest. He does obviously take all the penalties, free kicks and corners for Hungary as well. So he is...
Yeah, and they were quite entertaining, weren't they? A few cups ago. Was it the Euros last time?
2016 Euros.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, they had a bit of entertainment about them. No doubt they'll have a completely different side. But yeah, no, I wouldn't write them off to get battered every game. So yeah, and like you say, he's the talisman.
He is indeed, and I think we've seen that in previous tournaments as well. The players that are on a lot of the set pieces, penalties and stuff. I'm kind of thinking back to Xherdan Shaqiri.
Has he been called?
He has, yeah, World Cups and stuff like that. But I think it's probably past it at this point, isn't it?
As soon as he gets a couple of assists in that first game, everyone's going to be racing to get him in.
But that's what it feels like to me, to be honest. It feels like another Xherdan Shaqiri where club level, you know,
they might go under the radar a bit more, yeah.
Yeah. International level, they're the main man. So I think that could be it. Next question: is Rudiger a good pick?
I assume you'd say yes because he's playing.
Yeah, I think there's if Tar plays or Mittelstadt plays, I think for the money that they are, I think it's worth going for them too. But if neither of them are playing, then he is obviously like I'd want a Germany defender for the opening fixture at least.
What position's Kimmich? Is he a defender or a midfielder on
I
the?
think he's down as a midfielder, on this game. Yeah.
Sorry, assuming miss out on clean sheets.
Yeah. Someone's asked me a question about. I know the guy, and I can't pronounce his name, but
Go on.
the Napoli
Go on.
player,
Go on.
Kivik Kavoshkla.
But to be fair, it's actually written not far from how it should be pronounced. I think because it's like Kvaratskhelia.
Yeah,
Kvaratskhelia.
Kvaratskhelia.
I might be really horribly doing that, but yeah.
Fair enough. Do you think
It's
he's an option?
Georgia, I think, are just a write-off, aren't they, in most people's eyes? And then there is him, but it doesn't help that Napoli have gone to absolute dog meat. And he's been very quiet in comparison to how he was last season. But maybe, like we've just been saying, fairly average at club level, and then you just go and tear the house down at international level. So he's one to keep an eye on, maybe. If Georgia are going to get anything this tournament, you'd imagine he'd have something to say about it.
Yeah, definitely. Offcore has said, which player do you think is a banana skin?
The player that many may go for will get stung because they don't play the same role internationally. Oh, that's an interesting question.
I think Foden might fit under that category, If he's put on the left.
Yeah, that is true.
Same with Rice as well. He's had a pretty good season at club level, but he plays a completely different role in terms
He's a lot deeper, isn't he, for England?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a very good question. Yeah, I think Foden's the main one. He could absolutely smash it, but the Southgate that we all know is going to most likely play him on the left-hand side, which we have already said. He's I'm sure he'll make something happen, but maybe not quite as much as he would have done if he was cutting him from that right-hand side.
Yeah, agreed. Godfather said, which Ukrainian striker should I pick? I mean, there's only one.
I don't even know any other ones, to be honest. Dovvik.
Yeah, Dovvik or Dovbik. I don't know.
To be honest, I'm just copying you there, so I don't. It's probably got a few more vowels and syllables in it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
10 letters long, and you just gone Dovvik. No, I do actually know that name. He's a massive beast, isn't he?
Plays for Girona. Absolutely slapped it this year, to be fair to him.
Is he like? Am I mixing him up with someone that played for Russia?
Yeah, you might be thinking of. What's the guy's name? Artur.
He has a similar name, like
Zerbic, something like that.
Zuba.
Yeah, Artur.
Is it Zuba?
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, they've both got similar names, but then in that case, I don't know of Dobvik, who plays for Ukraine, is actually the beast that I'm thinking.
Yeah, 100%.
He's probably about 5'10". Well, sorry, no, he's probably about 5'6".
Yeah. Whoa, what are you trying to say about people who are 5'6"?
5'10's massive, lad.
Yeah.
Big up the 5'10 lads out here.
Of course, got a follow-up question. He says, thanks for that answer. I may take a punt on Palmer as I agree with your advice on Rice and Foden.
I feel like our advice on Rice and Foden shouldn't be the incentive to bring in Palmer, because I think, if anything, it's just more incentive to avoid all of them, because I don't think you can rely on Southgate, and I'd be very, very, very surprised if Palmer starts.
Yeah, agreed.
I think it will be Kane, Saka, and Foden. I do. And Palmer will have some kind of say at some point, but I think those three will play all three games. I think the only chance Palmer's got of starting one of the games is if an injury happens or if they're already through or out.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Who do you think is going to go and win the tournament away from fantasy? I do really think we should get to the final. And once you get to the final, anyone can win, because the two finalists surely deserve to be there.
So it'd be nice to go one more step because, of course, we keep doing it where we get to the semis. We got to the final now. Hopefully, we can win it. But I think it'll be interesting to see how Germany do because they have been horrifying to watch in the past few tournaments that we've seen. They've been really disappointing. It's been great fun to watch, but they've just not been the German side that everyone used to fear. And now they've got quite a nice young side coming through. I feel like that will be interesting. And, of course, they're the hosts. So I think they're a team to watch. But I feel like it's going to feel like a win for anyone that can beat France at the end of the day, isn't it?
Yeah, agreed.
But yeah, I'd like to think we can win, but I feel like you can never rule out France's side.
True. I do think Germany as well are a very good shout. You usually see host nations do quite well in tournaments, so I think they could do pretty good this tournament. Next question we've had is Xhaka or Shaqiri?
God, if you're going to make me choose, then I feel like, oh God, I'd probably go for Xhaka because he's going to play, and of course we've got this ball recovery stat. Shaqiri just depends on if he's going to play. If he plays, then I can only imagine he's only playing for those set pieces. So then it would be wise to consider him. But I feel like Xhaka's going to play more minutes than Shaqiri.
Okay. Potential Golden Boot winner? Who do you think that's going to be?
Well, that was what I was thinking. I was actually kind of thinking in the back of my mind the other day that Ramos might have a little shout in it, but I've clearly spoken myself out of it by not putting him in my team. I think you are right in saying Kane should be the hot favourite after Mbappe. I think even he could be a favourite in many people's eyes over Mbappe because he is that focal striker. I think this question, Tom, I'm just going to have to keep beating around the bush and let you decide.
Oh, no, lad. I need a name so I can come back at
I'm
the
going
end.
to go for Valavojevic.
Nice. Yeah, that's the one.
Who are you saying?
You know what? I think I'm going to have a cheeky little bet on this as well. I'm thinking Lukaku. 20-1 to be top goal scorer, which I think is a bit mad.
Yeah.
Like their group's pretty open. 12 goals in qualifying as well for Belgium.
They could go out in the last 16 and he could still win it.
Yeah. That's what I mean. So I think he could be a little decent pickup.
I think the odds are quite high on him purely for the fact they don't fancy Belgium as a whole, do they?
Well, interestingly, Bellingham's higher than Lukaku.
Wow.
Bellingham's 16-1, which I was just baffled by.
Wow, that is crazy. Who's third then after Kane and Mbappe?
Let me get it up. Give me a second. Give me a hot second.
Can't even think off the top of my head. Would Morata be in there?
No.
Cody Gakpo?
Definitely not Cody Gakpo.
I can't even think who else plays.
Let's have a look.
Is Bruno up there?
It's Cristiano Ronaldo at 12-1.
Yeah, that's not happening.
Giroud has entered the picture as well.
I can understand that, to be honest, because he just does play.
He does, but he's same price as Lukaku.
No, I'd fancy Lukaku over that. I think Lukaku has only been, like I say, been ranked that highly because they believe the likes of Portugal and France will get further into the tournament.
Ramos 33-1 for you.
It's not bad odds, that is it?
Not bad odds. Same odds as Dovbyk, who we've been talking about all evening.
Dovbyk, the big 5'10" beast.
Valavojevic 40-1.
Yeah. What about what the fuck's his name? My Turkish guy.
I can't even. I'm not even seeing it on here.
Arcticoglu.
I'm still scrolling. I'm at 50-1 and he's not even here.
Who's that?
Oh no, he is 80-1. I found him 80-1.
Oh lad, I might have to just chuck a tenner on it.
Oh my god, I Can't
Yeah.
believe
All right.
it.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what a team I've got looking like next week. I'll have a little look into it over this next weekend.
Yeah, yeah. I'll send you that spreadsheet over as well.
Okay.
Sexy stuff, sexy stuff. Right, guys. That's going to call it on today's stream. Like I said, thank you for everyone that's been here today, asked questions, sent me stuff on Twitter as well. I've seen that I've had quite a few messages on there. If you do want your team rating, just drop me a DM or leave it under any tweet, and I'll take a look and feedback when I do have some time. There's plenty of other Euro content coming up over the weekend as well, so do subscribe if you want to see my updated draft on there, and also my chip strategy for the course of this game as well. But yeah, like I said, plenty of other stuff coming up. There's probably going to be a stream next week as well with me and Jake, so all good stuff. All good stuff. Someone put great stream ? Delete.
Yeah, I know. He's deleted it.
Put,
He made me laugh as well. I was like, great stream.
great stream. He was questioning what he'd watched himself, but yeah, cheers for that one, Nation Man. And cheers to everyone who's been in today's stream. Like I said, massive shout out to you guys. So yeah, thank you for all your support throughout the course of this season and into the Euros. So yeah, let's keep it up, and we'll see you next week. Bye, guys.
Yeah. Bye bye.